Wow, that fucking sucked. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video of Sports Talk Buffalo. Coming into this game, the Buffalo Bills were the heavy favorites, coming in with a double-digit point spread on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pretty much everybody and their mother picked the Buffalo Bills to win this game. However, just an absolutely putrid performance by the Buffalo Bills offense, as they only managed to score 6 points and put up just 301 yards of total offense against the league's worst defense. And the Buffalo Bills lose 9-6 to the Jaguars. It was probably one of the worst losses I have ever seen as a Bills fan. It is right up there with some of the worst games the Bills have probably ever played. It was fucking terrible. It was just absolutely terrible. And I'm talking about offensively. The defense played great. The offense was absolute dog shit. So what went wrong for the Buffalo Bills? And should we be worried about what we have seen from the Buffalo Bills so far? Let's start with the fact that the Bills yet again fail to establish any sort of run game in this game. They managed just 22 yards on 9 carries from their running backs. Their running backs got 9 fucking carries. Of course you're not going to get a running game. Your leading rusher is constantly your quarterback because you don't give your running backs an opportunity to run the ball. This is the third straight game a Buffalo Bills running back has not gotten over the 30-yard mark. In the NFL, this is the third game in a row that a running back has not gone over the 30-yard mark in a game. That is beyond bad. There's no word to describe how fucking terrible that is. We all know that the running game was a problem, and of course that is going to lead right into the next point that I wanted to talk about in this one, and that is the fact that the offensive line is also fucking terrible. The running backs don't have much room on most plays because the offensive line is consistently getting blown up and pushed in the backfield. It is a huge, huge problem. Not just the run blocking for the offensive line, but also the pass blocking. Josh Allen is now the most pressured quarterback in the entire NFL after this last game, and he was running for his life the entire game. When you watch these highlights that I'm going to put on the screen right now, it is very easy to see why Josh Allen, as the game went on, started to get happy feet. You had guys not blocking very well or guys not blocking at all. Yeah, I mean, getting beat this badly on the offensive line, you should be absolutely mortified. You should be embarrassed. If you were the offensive line coach and you weren't just absolutely completely embarrassed by this game, then you should be fired, because that was one of the worst offensive line performances I have seen from any team in the NFL in a very, very long. That was just fucking bad, man. It was bad. You had Deion Dawkins, who consistently was getting beat at the left tackle spot. You had Darrell Williams, who's consistently getting beat at the right tackle spot, at times not even coming out of his stance in time to be able to get a hand on the player who was going after Josh Allen. And then you have, of course, just he shouldn't even step on a football field any longer, and that is Cody Ford. You are not resurrecting that career. It is time to cut ties. It is time to realize that you made a mistake in that draft. He was probably one of your biggest misses if in the Bean and McDermott era. Just absolutely terrible. He has not lived up to the hype, not even a little bit. He has been very, very bad. Even the offensive line on a completely healthy day is not that great. And that is something that should have been addressed in the offseason, and it wasn't. And should, if they haven't learned their lesson, we should absolutely riot, because the Buffalo Bills, it is very clear that they need offensive line help this offseason. There is no way around it. They must address the offensive line in the offseason. Now, both of those points lead into my next point, which is then it puts a ton of pressure on Josh Allen to be a superhero and to play hero ball, which then forces him into trying to force to play, which then makes him make a bunch of mistakes the same way he did when he was a rookie in the NFL. Josh Allen turned the ball over 3 times, and it should have been 4, in this game, including an absolutely inexcusable INT and an absolutely terrible fumble on a quarterback read option play in which he should have handed the ball off. There was no reason he should have kept the ball in that play. Everything in that read suggested hand the ball off. And Allen kept the ball, and not only did he not get the yards that he needed to get a first down, but then he fumbled the ball to boot, giving it back to the Jaguars. Now, should fans be worried about the Buffalo Bills? And many fans that I see on Twitter are saying, it's one bad week, man. Chill out, it's one bad week. The Buffalo Bills are still contenders. This is their wake-up call. This is their wake-up call in week 9. Of course, this is just like the Cardinals game last year, where the Bills didn't lose again until the AFC Championship game. And I'm going to come out and say bullshit. These are the same people that said it was a wake-up call in week number 1, and I got to say that there should be no more wake-up calls in week 9 of the NFL season, your 8th game of the year against an absolutely horrendous team. That shouldn't be your wake-up call. You should already be awake. You should already be firing on all cylinders. You know, the defense was firing on all cylinders, of course. The offense was fucking bad. And it was just an absolutely horrendous performance by the Buffalo Bills offense. It was fucking terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And if you are going to be a Super Bowl contender, you take care of teams like that, and you take care of them handily. The Buffalo Bills at this point are not Super Bowl contenders, and I'm going to tell you why right now. They only managed 6 points this past week against the worst team defensively in the NFL, and they have had 4 bad offensive games out of 8 games they've played this season. Weeks 1, 2, 8, and 9. The Buffalo Bills have had very bad offense in half of their games. I know the scores look like the Bills are just absolutely destroying people, but when you go look at the actual yards per game, they're not that great. The Buffalo Bills were held under 400 yards multiple times. All 4 of those games, they were held under 400 yards of total offense. Josh Allen threw for more than 400 yards like 4 times last year by himself. So something is going completely wrong with the Buffalo Bills, and it absolutely needs to be addressed. And right now, do you see a Super Bowl contender? Because what I see is anything but. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a video. I talk Bills, Sabres, and UB Bulls, men's basketball and football right here on this page. Make sure you guys spread the word. Again, subscribe, click the notification bell. Thank you. Have a fantastic week.